Y'all, so good to be back with this incredibly talented group. I just saw them do a live first take performance of Damn. And I'd never heard the song. I was not familiar with this first take performance. Really, really awesome to watch them in this setting and to be able to hear all their voices so crystal clear, all the differences, everything they do so amazingly well, all the energy. The group dynamic was really fun to get a look into. Anyway, really enjoyed reacting and of course doing a full vocal analysis on this performance. I hope you guys enjoy as well, and I hope you learn something, and I'll see you after.
First take, y'all. Hey, we gon' kill it. This is ugly, but alam mo naman, dami like it. Then again, cause I'm icy. Kahit na ano pa yan, come bite me. What you gonna do pag may dumating na maitim na ulap, kikiligin. Kung sa positibo ay baka lang maparani, kasi pag realidad na ang harang agad nagising.
Yo, okay, so first of all, it's been a very, very long time since I've been back with SB19. I think a Wish Bus performance I'll leave here. It's just such a mega talented P-pop boy band. It's I remember loving them so much the last time I did a video for them, but you just get caught up following, you know, whatever's going on and making other videos. So I apologize to my SB19 fans out there. We're back. I'm very excited. I saw this as I record this just dropped yesterday. And as far as I know, this is truly a live one take. Now, of course, they can do editing and balancing of the vocals and stuff afterwards, but live one take, very cool, really a great way to showcase like the real raw talent of a group. And I have not heard this song, so this will be new as well. I just refreshed myself on their names even before they introduced themselves. We got Ken over here, we got Justin, we got Josh, we got Pablo, and we got Stell. So let's go.
First take, y'all. Hey, we gon' kill it. This is ugly, but alam mo naman, dami like it. Then again, cause I'm icy. Kahit na ano pa yan, come bite me. What you gonna do pag may dumating na maitim na ulap, kikiligin. Kung sa positibo ay baka lang maparani, kasi pag realidad na ang harang agad nagising.
How he gets into these like harsh vocals at the end of that phrase, and he's staying way up. I mean, most of these guys are very solidly tenors, high tenors. Ken is, I believe, if I recall, by far the lowest voice type in the group. I mean, we're up around like Josh was operating at about like middle C and above, and actually he went pretty high up on occasion there, getting some Filipino in here as well, which unfortunately we don't have translations for in the closed captions. Alas, you guys can enlighten me on the translations in the comments. But yeah, you don't think about it when singers are in more of like a rapping mode where there's not a super clear melody, but actually showcasing like a pretty high in his range here.
This is ugly, but alam mo naman, dami
That's okay. So that's just a C sharp. So for me, it's getting high. For Josh, pretty solidly middle voice.
Then again, cause I'm icy. Kahit na ano pa yan, come bite me. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? What? See, that's way up above like tenor high C. Now he was up in a sort of like mixed position, so it's not like a big sustained belt or something. But still, if you actually flag these more, I call them voice acty moments, because you're not really singing, you're doing more of like a character or a color. But if you pay attention to the actual pitch when a singer like Josh does that, it goes very, very high.
Again, cause I'm icy. Kahit na ano pa yan, come bite me. What you gonna do pag may dumating na maitim na ulap, kikiligin. Kung sa positibo ay baka lang maparani, kasi pag realidad na ang harang agad nagising.
And then yeah, so he's activating some false fold distortion in the last part. And it's getting that, it's bringing the false folds into the sound, and that's how he's activating that grittiness there at the end of that section.
me, what you gonna do pag may dumating na maitim na ulap o kikiligin Tututok sa positibo ay baka lamang pa rin Kasi pag realidad na ang harang agad nagising Minsan, anong pakiramdam Pumanik sa walang hanggang hagdan Di ba sa badam-dam ang katapusan
Yeah, so we can tell clearly Ken has a much, not only a lower voice, but a much, even more distinct than the range. Because he's only singing down to C#3. Much more distinct than the vocal range is actually the vocal color. He just has a really dark, kind of gravelly vocal color to his voice, which is so different from all the other singers in this group. Yeah, just a C#. It's a full octave lower. So it's not actually a really low note he's singing, but he has such a dark, warm color to his voice. It sounds low. And there's a grittiness and a smokiness. There is some like light distortion actually happening on the voice. Probably not intentional. This is probably just his natural sound. But it is a radically different vocal color than we get from any of the other guys. I mean, they're locked in there, and all like very, very lined up. So that's something they could potentially fix in post if they're a little bit off. But the thing about a performance like this is if they're way off, I mean, the editing gets much more obvious. So if you have 4 guys rapping a line at the same time, as long as they're locked in and all the syllables are close, you can kind of nudge them. But especially for like tuning, if you have to do a lot of tuning or you have to like really mess with how the singing was actually done, it gets pretty obvious pretty quickly. So like, despite editing post-performance, they like really still have to nail it. So that's why this is I love this medium. I've never heard of the first take thing, but I love this medium of performance. So he's just laying it on in those middle C sharps. And he's got this gravelly, he's in rap mode, but he's singing very clear pitch there. It's a very clear melody for a lot of this. And then we have Pablo come in on that high E, doing a high harmony at the end of Ken's rapping section. All C sharps. Just for a second. Beautiful. Right, just a radically different voice type style here, the voice of an angel. So he's getting all the way up. On occasion, I think he's singing, I think he was sticking kind of around that high F and F4, but then popped up to that tenor high C sharp for at least a moment. Yeah, so he's going F to F sharp to F to F sharp, and then all the way up to that high C sharp, and you can feel how he takes some weight out of the voice there and flips up into a head voice or a mix or a falsetto, a head voice or mix or falsetto, whatever it is, it's still like it's a really nice sound. It's a very efficient sound. Very accurate, very clean. It's actually really tough to pop up there just for a second and get a really clean tone, but Stell's voice is it's such a pure sound. Very different from Ken. And all these little riffs in there too. Notice when he sings a note, but the note kind of moves around a little bit, that's called a riff or a run. Now they're tiny, you might think of like a big run, like a big Mariah Carey thing. In opera, we call it coloratura singing. But he's adding a lot of little riffs and runs in that section, which is just a great showcase of vocal agility. It's just like, hey, I'm singing these notes, but I got a little extra sauce. And so it just kind of demonstrates that beautifully, and it's so accurate. Especially that one right at the end going into Justin's verse. Yeah, so we get, again, during Justin's verse, that really high harmony that Stell comes in on is all high C sharps. Super high. And then Justin's operating up there on that high F and high F sharp the whole time too, and he's got a more aggressive approach vocally, leaning a little bit more into the rapping section. The truest kind of like singing we've gotten this whole time is from Stell. The other guys have like how the text is delivered, the level of aggression and intensity, the occasional coming off of actual like melody, so to speak, all pitched, but taking away of the melody. Stell is the most like singing. I just call it singing because it's such a clear melodic vocal line. We had some low G sharps from Ken. He kind of speaks some It's not really like and I'm sorry, I'm saying whatever syllables I hear. I don't know the word. But we're hearing him getting down into that bass range. I still wouldn't call it like proper bass range, but like low baritone range for sure. This is a crazy song. Like just wild as far as genres. But we get Pablo coming in with a lot of vocal distortion, which was cool. And then we do get Ken in the actual, what I would consider bass range here in this next section, which of course is a bass. Yeah, I love to hear it. So there's this tiny little transition section where we get these claps and we get Pablo leading us in a gradually getting higher and more intense with his vocal distortion. So down to a low G for Ken, I believe. There's so many like semitone shifts and changes in the song, which is really cool. I love that. The like they're like on this high melody, they're going from A flat to A right next to each other, right? And often the chord changes reflect that. And then just listen for Ken in the low range. Does Pablo always sing in distortion? Every time I've heard him so far, it's been a pretty distorted sound. And just a really clear way to highlight what I mean by that is you listen to Stell's voice and it's just pure tone. And then you listen to Pablo's voice and there's what you might call grit or a bit of a growl in there. That's called distortion. That's distortion of the true fold singing, right? Either by adding false folds in there or adding true fold distortion in there. But those two next to each other is a perfect contrast. It's a perfect dichotomy of really pure true fold singing and some kind of distorted singing. And they're just ripping it up here. These high A flats and high A's for all our tenors. so pure.
Keep throwing your two sands. I'm all ends with two hands. Wag nyo kung hamunin yung magsigaw. Susunugin.
Getting after it. Yeah, it's just a distorted sound so far. I mean, I have not heard Pablo do like really clean rapping or singing. It's all got some kind of distortion in there.
Hands, wag nyo kung hamunin yung magsigaw. Susunugin. Lights are blaze cause I'm the great, the best. Pessimists and y'all cannot contest. Racists don't excite me, not the Vedas. Got the bomb, but this ever had.
There were some moments of clean singing in there, actually, on this kind of ascension he's doing. Now, again, there's like an ascending melody, but it's not super clear pitch. It's not like a super clear melody. It's obviously intentional. But we do actually get moments of clean singing. It goes back and forth between clean singing and distorted singing or rapping.
Lights are blaze cause I'm the great, the best. Pessimists and y'all cannot contest.
So there's a lot of clean vocal in there. It's like it's more accented by some distortion.
Lights are blaze cause I'm the great, the best. Pessimists and y'all cannot contest. Racists don't excite me, not the Vedas. Got the bomb, but this ever had. Paresan pa yung mga paa kung di naman kaya tumayong mag-isa.
Oh, sweet. So that's the exact melody, some kind of pre-chorus that we heard Stell do earlier. That F to F sharp motif. And then popping up to that high C sharp. Same exact, maybe the lyrics are different, I'm not sure, but same exact vocal melody as Stell did earlier. Hey, even Stell put a little, and he put a little growl in there. Just super high. To be able to operate up there over a long time horizon. I mean, it's only one song, but even so, like if your voice cannot sit up that high and you try to stay up there for an entire song, it will be so taxing for your voice. It's like your voice really does, it can do what it's meant to do all day long if you're a trained singer. But if you stretch beyond that, it does the shelf life is very, very short. So for him to be able to do that and sound so clean and sound like he's not struggling like that is just a clear indicator he's very comfortable being up there. I mean, it's so easy. I'm not even sure. Earlier when he popped up to it, it was for sure in some kind of mixed voice or a head voice, but there it sounds so connected to his chest and the rest of what he's singing on those G sharps. I'm like, maybe he's just all in chest voice, which is possible. It's very rare, but it is possible for a tenor to be that high. So I feel like Pablo had a similar motif earlier. Ken and Pablo seem like mainly they do rapping. Josh does a little bit of both, and then it seems like Justin and Stell are pretty solidly staying in the singing melodic stuff. Which is funny because that is actually reflected in who's using the pure tones versus who's using the distortion. We get a lot more distorted singing from our rappers than we get from the ones who are typically singing. Like Stell and Justin, very pure tones a lot of the time. And from Josh, it's a pretty mixed bag. And then from Pablo and Ken, it's almost always a little bit distorted. All distorted. And the thing about Ken's voice is he's not adding distortion to it. I think he just has that warm, dark, kind of smoky quality. That's just how his vocal folds operate. He's not adding distortion in the way that Pablo is and occasionally Josh is. It's like a different kind of physiology happening. Kind of that low G again. Just very, very, Justin, very nice transitions in and out of that head voice. So you hear those flips, right? He's not trying to mask when he's switching registration. He's very, very good at it. And it's actually really difficult. Like stability of sound and pitch are tough. Those are the toughest two things to navigate, flipping back and forth, because it's a very different sensation to sing a note that's high in your chest range versus a note that's low in your head voice. And those are overlapping. And so it's like you really have to almost calibrate ahead of time how much shift you're going to have to make. At least when you're learning. Once you're very seasoned, you don't really have to think about it anymore. But that is a difficult thing to do technically. So he flips up into it. That's easy, typically. Stays in the chest voice, then goes to the flip. But then flipping back down while keeping that line clean, that's really nice. Wow. Whoa, Stell, easy. So now this has to be up in mix voice, at least when it gets above like that C sharp. But it's so, once in a while you hear a voice like this with their mixed voice, their chest voice just goes into their mix, just goes into their head voice. Like the registration is just super, super clean. You think like a Mitch Grassi from Pentatonics, like that, where it's just like their chest voice just goes up and it sounds like it never shifts into anything else. It has to, but it doesn't sound like it because the vocal quality stays the same. We get that here from Stell. I mean, he just got all the way up to F sharp 5, which sounds just like super well connected and clean. I mean, that's really, really impressive. C sharp, high D, F sharp. Oh, with the sustained high G sharp from Stell. Ridiculously high. Oh no, F sharp, excuse me. I was anticipating where that note would go next, but he stops on F sharp. And you can really feel the strain in his voice up there. You can see it, you can feel it. Like that is really stretching. Whatever technique he's using right now, if it was a full head voice, it probably wouldn't be that strained. So I think it's some kind of like really chest dominant mix, his approach. And you can hear it, you can feel it. He's really stretching to get up there. The tone's like a little bit unstable. You can hear that if you kind of lock in on just that note he's singing. But it's such an impressive vocal feat to do that at all. Yeah, so we really have a pretty good balance of people singing like very clear tone. And we have other people like Pablo who are really leaning into the speech and the distorted sounds. We get like a full balance.
Anong pakiramdam? pakiramdam, anong pakiramdam? Anong pakiramdam? Lahumpay sa paggusto.
It's such a cool beat, and I love this breakdown section at the end where we've got Ken keeping a pretty consistent line, and then we have it seems like all the other guys are kind of jumping in, still doing some riffing, right? Just some nice melodic riffing, some vocal shouts from Pablo, just kind of like doing their thing here to finish off. Yeah. Each jumping in.
Yeah. That was fun.
Killed. Crazy talent with this group. A really interesting song, like a pretty wild song. And you know, phenomenal singing. Very cool to watch them do this live on some level. Really impressive. Really cool to hear them. And I think I've only heard them do, you know, quasi live performances like on the Wish Bus, like a similar kind of situation. Shout out to the boys. I'm glad to be back with SB19. Guys, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you learned something. I hope you gained appreciation for this group and their vocals, going on this vocal nerd journey with me. And please leave recommendations below. And if you'd like to support me further, find my Patreon in the description. And I'll see you in the next SB19 video. Peace.